No mai haere mai ki te tino whakahirahira nei, ngā mihi nui ki e koutou katoa. Te lawhalawa e mātua mālo, le soifua a whia mai. Warm greetings to the special occasion tonight. You give someone one term to act as principal and they think they own the place. He did a good job though, he did a good job. This time 12 months ago, I spoke at length of my role model and my hero, Brother Bill Dowling. Brother Bill, who we all loved and adored so much, sadly passed away during the Term 3 holidays. I was away at a conference, and even in his last days, Bill was texting me, intrigued with what I was learning. It filled me both with happiness and sadness. Bill knew what was important in life. He was an example to all of us. He knew not to judge, but to listen. He knew that the victories in life exist in human relationships. He knew that true gratification lay in giving, not taking. As we all came to terms with Bill's passing through the process of grief and remembrance, we acknowledged that Bill was a product of his family and his environment. Bill was very much a no-nonsense man, a man that lived his life by action and rolling up the sleeves and getting the job done. Most of all, Bill had a strong faith. His relationship with God was strong. It wasn't without challenge and discernment, it grounded him. I will miss my role model. It is our founders and leaders that we must never forget when we are challenged with mapping our strategic approach to the future of our kura. Bill was most definitely a guiding light as we completed our strategic plan 2025-2028. Our work has been 18 months in the making as we move to adopt the new Ministry of Education planning and reporting legislation. Consultation was across students, teachers, parents and our Board of Trustees. Our vision for our latest strategic plan is a community that leads hearts and minds. Our latest strategic plan is very much focused on an approach that is in our bones. It is our DNA. Our 4 goals are deeply connected to the 4 values selected by our student body last year: brotherhood, manawa, compassion and legacy. Up on the screen here you'll see our strategic plan on a page, and of course you won't be able to read all the detail in there. But I would encourage you to go onto our website where it is and take some time to understand our direction over the next 4 years. Our first goal, and all of our goals are attached to a success statement. That's how we know we've achieved what we set out to do. Our first goal, which is at the start of our vision, a community that leads hearts and minds. Goal 1, community. We developed a clear identity, individually and as a brotherhood, so that we are a Catholic community that is connected, equitable, visible and proud. We know an important part of belonging is a journey of self-discovery. Our focus is on creating experiences and opportunities for our students to form and understand their own identity in relationship with our families and whānau. Goal 2, leadership. We understand our leadership style and we lead with manawa, so that we all lead with confidence. We believe everyone has a leadership strength and capability. Our mission is to guide our students to understand what their strength is, so that they lead themselves and others with confidence once they leave St. Thomas's. Goal 3, hearts, our heart goal. We make, maintain and repair relationships with compassion, so that everyone belongs to our St. Thomas family. Our Catholic faith is our guiding light, shining on the importance and power of relationships. We are unequivocally a restorative school. We believe in forgiveness and reconciliation. We know when our relationships are at their strongest, our outcomes are at their highest. And our 4th and final goal, minds. We all fulfil our learning potential to create a legacy so that we succeed now and also in the future. We understand the importance of academic achievement now, but just as important is an education that will serve our men in the future. These 4 goals are aspirational, and in time will ensure we stay connected to our mission, a mission that is focused on educating the hearts and minds of our young men. As we enter a period of change to our school structure, moving from a 7 to 13 school to a 9 to 13, it is important we learn from the past to ensure we move in the right direction in the future. 2024 has been a fast-paced, high-achieving year for us all. Our core is placed to offer the best of opportunities for our students across the academics, culture and across sporting pursuits. Tonight we have celebrated the achievements of our young men, and I'd like to congratulate all of those acknowledged tonight. Alongside individual accomplishments, we've had some fantastic school-wide accomplishments. We started the year with the news of fantastic NCA results, and I really want to stress this, especially our 75.3% UE pass rate, which is the highest pass rate for boys in state and state integrated schools in Christchurch, as well as placing St Thomas's in the top 12% of all schools throughout the country. These results are remarkable, a wonderful reward for both students and staff. We are well placed to emulate these academic results again this year. As the year progressed, we've seen a repeated National Rugby League title, football regional title, as well as a top 4 finish at Nationals, national medals at Māori Cup, and many students gaining national represents across a large and diverse range of sports. We're incredibly proud of all that our students and staff accomplished together. I'd like to acknowledge some key people and groups that have contributed so much this year. I'd first like to acknowledge the presence of our Christian brothers, Brother Joe Lauren and Brother Frank Perkins. I know this year you'll be missing your mate Bill sitting beside you. Thank you for your legacy. I hope that we can do it justice. I thank you for the trust you've imparted on our teaching staff to keep the Edmund Rice story, inspired by Jesus Christ, alive and in action within our young men. I feel honoured to be part of your legacy. I would like to acknowledge the leadership of our senior leadership team. Mr Brendan Biggs, Mr Hamish Barclay, Mr Andrew Aomatangi, Mr Hamish McCombie, Mr Stephen Kennedy, Mr Chris Leader and Mr Paul Burden. Our community is very fortunate to have you leading our school into the future. And a special acknowledgement to our mate here, Mr Hamish Barclay, who led our school so well in Term 2. I'd also like to thank our staff for all they do in the development of our students. As we navigate changes in societal expectations and political intervention in our education system through constant curriculum change, as well as the increased layer of complexity in the way that technological advancements have increased the frequency and the intensity of social media. We're very lucky to have a hard-working group of staff that care and understand that we are much more than an 8:30 to 2:30 school. Our staff understand that by connecting outside the classroom as well as inside the classroom, we're able to develop the whole person. We are unique, we're very unique to have so many staff that make themselves available to work with our students in so many different settings, well into the evenings and throughout the weekends. I would also like to personally thank the support and dedication of Joe Fitzgerald, who I work closely alongside as Principal's PA. Thank you, Joe, for making sense of my working week. Often at all hours and throughout the weekends, you always go above and beyond. I'd also like to acknowledge the hard work of our Board of Trustees, which is well led by Andy Steele. We are so fortunate to have a hard-working board that represents our community so well and truly understands the mission of an Edmund Rice school. I thank our board for their passion in wanting our school to deliver a world-class education and experience. I'd also like to acknowledge our parent community. It is not an easy job raising teenagers in the 21st century. You are also impacted by the technological advancements. It deeply affects the family unit as we're all called to work longer, faster and to be constantly available and connected. The result is often less family time. The world is a different place to raise families than previous generations. Not necessarily better or worse, but different. Like lots of areas of school life, we have an opportunity to embrace this change and innovate. Our students are so fortunate to have a group of parents and caregivers that are hopeful of their sons experiencing as much of life as possible. It is fantastic to work in an environment whereby we are all working together to raise good young men that are able to fulfil their potential. Finally, I would like to thank my own family. You give me so much in the support of the role I have at St Thomas's. You understand that I'm called to serve. This means time away from you. Your support, I thank you. I want to personally acknowledge the contribution of our Year 13 students. Boys, you're a special group. In your 13 years throughout school, you have dealt with earthquakes, aftershocks, many house repairs, terrorist attacks, global pandemics. You are resilient. You have navigated all these challenges, and you're on the other side. During your time at St Thomas's, you have seen the school change. We've changed curriculum. We've gained unprecedented success both across arts and sport. Your experience are like no others. The skills and character you have learned will hold you in such a high place as you venture out into the world. You have learned resilience. You've learned to be strategic. And this is my favourite one. Most importantly, you've learned to ask for help when you need it the most. Take this with you wherever you may go into the future. Year 13s, I challenge you, be men of Edmund. Be a voice for those without one. Have the courage and conviction to stand up when called upon. It has been a blessing watching you all on your journey. All the highs and lows along the way are the experiences that have come together to form you into the men you have become. You have each in your own way left a legacy for those to follow. Let the seeds that have been planted here at St Thomas's blossom and grow. Go leave your mark on this world. I feel honoured to work alongside everyone that makes up our community. The students, staff, parents. I feel grateful and blessed to walk alongside our young men each and every day. The future is full of uncertainty, and no doubt we will have challenges ahead. But my challenge to us all is to ask ourselves this question: how do I live a life of service? How do I give to others? And how can I be a good friend? I challenge us all to be countercultural by asking ourselves, how can I contribute to our community rather than what can I take from my community? If we all do this, I know our world will be a better place. And we can all live in hope of a better future where we all belong to a community that leads hearts and minds. Whawhatai lava, e mamuia, e a awhi awhi suafua, kia kaha, kia maia, kia manua nui. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.